Aloha and welcome to the Keys Book series. It's me, your host, John Anawani Remus IV. Check it out. What is the answer to violence in the world? Remember, violent acts are a result of people who are unhappy. Talking emotions here. Now, in the rare case, you'll find maybe a drug lord, druggy dictator who's on, drugs, or some type of criminal who's a drug addict who attacks people for that reason. But for the most part, all the people who are rational and in their mind and still commit these crimes, these acts of aggression. Well, what's the most strongest feeling? Well, it's desire, it's lust, it's your sexuality. So I'm hitting it face on. I'm dealing with it right here in these discussions, and I'm here to suggest that if we can figure out how to figure it out, where people can be freed of this bondage of lust and just be patient for their soulmate. It takes something that a lot of us don't have. It takes some stability. It takes, not wanting to prostitute yourself. I've done it. Maybe you have too. Uh, you know, it takes having some ability in yourself to just be surrounded by people who are like guardians. Like, that's, I believe, the term I want to use. Instead of parents, it's guardians. And the children would be clients. Kind of like a doctor has patients, the guardians have clients, and they look after the client to make sure that they don't overstep to lust. Alright, so, imagine that. What would you do if you were incredibly wealthy? Would you associate with the people that you do? Mm, would you talk to them? Would you do things differently? Would you really do things that you want to do? Well, think about it like this. What's your favorite hobby? Is it expensive? Is having sex with your soulmate expensive? No, it's not. All it requires is a home. It doesn't require, elaborate vacations or expensive things. Same thing with self-pleasuring. Now, what else have we got? So, I mean, this is the wealth right here. This is, I believe, what God is. This light work, and and resulting from that light work is just all these ideas. The facts are that men like to meet women and vice versa. Uh, and gays like to meet each other too, which is all good, but what do we do? Ah, you know, let's see. Instead of being in an old folks' home all alone, lonely, that's what disturbs me. When I see old people, it's not because they're old, it's because they're alone. They're by themselves. They're not with their mate. I'm not going to end up like that. I'm going to have children surrounding me. I'm going to create an amazing family. If you're watching this video, maybe you'd like to be a part of it. I don't know. Are you a vegetarian? What do you believe? Well, I'm going through my notes here. So just take a deep breath, relax. Okay, social dynamics, interpersonal interactions. Think about it like this. When you get into an argument with somebody, you get upset. Remember to extract yourself. Run away, do some exercising. Just get away, because the angry words can lead, they can escalate to violent actions. And if you get upset or they get upset, just get away as soon as you can. And don't talk to people who are business relationships. Don't talk to them in an upset manner, because you don't have something in common. Like if you were talking to, like if I was talking to a fellow person who I really had a lot in common with, then I wouldn't get upset. You know what I mean? If they like because the most important thing to me, like that's why I get afraid sometimes talking to people. It's because I'm afraid to talk to them, because I don't want to convince them of something, because the most important things they and I have a disagreement on. For instance, if I'm talking to somebody who's not a vegetarian and I'm trying to argue with them about maybe something to do with, like, I don't want to, we shouldn't play the music this loud. Um, you have more compassion and acceptance for people. Um, the point I'm trying to make here is distinguish who's your family and who's a professional relationship. And no gray area, no more friends. You have to, let's make a distinguishment here. Let's be princes and princesses. And let's not call somebody a brother who's not, or a sister. Okay, that's the bottom line. Call them Mr. Mary or Mr. John, whatever their name is. Okay, so let's see if I have any other thoughts here. Just scrolling through my notes, just take a deep breath. Okay, how about this? Instead of saying, I hate you, say, I was hurt by what you did, and I'd like to talk to you about it when I'm, obviously when you're not angry. Imagine that you're not angry at somebody, but you're just simply angry, and then extract yourself. That's the point. So did you get that last one there? Instead of calling somebody like an asshole, say your feelings were hurt when they did that. And a lot of times I've discovered that the person is a mirror. I might be doing the same thing to somebody else, or maybe I'm being mean in a different way, like not giving to charity, and somehow the universe is communicating to me through a different medium. Maybe somebody just being rude to me or whatnot. I have an idea for social architecture. How about we have like a personal credibility and respectability rating for people reporting crimes and doing community service acts. Just find different ways to make yourself good. You know. Let's see. Have compassion for people. The reason they are upset might, if they're not drug addicts, drug addicts are like in another category. But a normal person, it's probably because they didn't have, um, you know, enough intimacy with themselves or exercise, or maybe they eat meat and the meat, the energy from the meat makes them upset. The adrenaline and everything. Just refuse to let angry words enter yourself. Um, make something special happen here. This is like the real deal. Uh, get back to me. Communicate with me. You know, I I'd like to I'd like to meet somebody who thinks like me. I really would. And maybe that's a good mantra. Who knows? Okay. One last thought. When I go out, I try to think of this oneness philosophy that everyone I see is like when I go see a person, I say, that's me. And you got to be careful. Don't do this like in public where, you might have you might need to be defensive because, there are people with different beliefs and motivations in public. But let's just say, when you have a chance, just imagine that it's all light and bounce the brilliant light off people. In fact, the last part of this video will be a meditation. Are you ready? Alright, so we're going to visualize, just hold your fingers up like this and visualize that brilliant beam of light coming out and just beam it on your body for a second. Aim towards your body and see that brilliant white light. Just imagine your aura is full. And now notice somebody who you're a little upset at. Well, first go into your little spaceship, okay? Just get into your miniature spaceship that's maybe as big as a cell phone. And use this spaceship, by the way, to go wherever you want and look at things you want and see if you want it to become a reality, whether it's sustainable. Like, realize that, you don't really want a Rolls Royce or a big house. You just want, a place for you and your soulmate to live. So get in your spaceship. Now drive. And go near a person that's upset you. And of course, this is after analyzing, figuring out why. Always ask why. Why are you upset? But basically, visualize this person smiling and beam a brilliant white light. And remember, it's not about you. It's not about that person. It's about you, how you feel. Okay? Be responsible for your feelings. What they do is up to them. But imagine them beaming around their room, beaming bright white light, just beaming. And they smile and they beam wherever they are. That's what I think God is. But you've got to find out for yourself. Till next time. Aloha.